All right, Coach Burt, thank you for being here today. Um, Super excited. Been working with you for about 8 months now, and the level of information and wisdom that you bring to the table is by far more than I've seen with anybody ever that I've coached with. Can you? I've got a few questions. I want to. There's burning questions that I have for you today, if that's okay.
Sure.
When you look at life or business or no matter what, you've got a phrase that you say everybody needs a coach in life. Why do you think that?
I've spent a lot of time over the last 20 years studying human nature as you have in the martial arts business, right? And one thing that has been consistent is left to our own devices, we have a tendency to contract to places of comfort. And that's everybody. Okay. So I believe a coach helps us break a vicious cycle. And that cycle is to start with good intentions, fail to follow through, and then experience guilt. And
Mm.
that is due to human nature of left to our own devices without someone pushing us or challenges or stimulating us. We contract to a place of comfort. That's just our human nature. And that's why I think everybody needs a coach in their life.
So October 7th, you're coming to Charlotte. We're super excited about bringing you here, and we've sort of created the phrase "level up" for this workshop. When you look at the workshop "level up," what can people expect from you to help them level up?
Well, I just finished speaking in Nashville, and I have a way through 31 years of coaching people to really push people. I wouldn't say they're hot buttons, but to really make them think about where they are, and more importantly, to activate a drive inside of them we call pray drive that gets them to want to level up. So a lot of people come up to me and say, you know what? I've been messing around. I've been casual with my potential. I need to get serious. I have a lot of talent. I got big things to do. It's time for me to go. Right. And I think part of leveling up, and I kind of did this on a thing I did last night, is I have a desire to level up. Number one, I seek out people who can help me level up. And number three, I have a humility that says, I am hungry, I'm humble, and I'm teachable. And I think the people who come in Charlotte are going to walk out of there thinking bigger. Their prey drive will be activated. They will be ready for the next level 10 opportunity that they're ready to pursue.
Now, you just said a phrase, "pray drive." Can you tell us a little bit about what pray drive is?
Prey drive is prevalent in animals, specifically a dog. A dog has a prey drive, which is its instinct to pursue. Okay. I have trademarked that in humans, developed my own theory and philosophy around that. I wrote a best selling book called Flip the Switch on that. And I have codified how to activate the drive inside of a person to get them to want to pursue their bigger future.
So I work with people, families here that are across different industries, from real estate agents to bankers, lawyers. And I know you've worked with real estate agents, bankers, lawyers. I mean, tiny homes, you name it, you've worked with them. And then you've worked with people who maybe aren't entrepreneurs, but just are trying to get them to the next level. How is it possible with your knowledge that you can have a room full of people from 10 different industries and they all walk away going, "That's exactly what I needed"? Because I think that's a lot of times people are like, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent. I don't need this workshop. I need something more towards real estate," or "I'm a MLM. That's how this is not going to help me." How does your take on leveling up say I can do that for anybody?
I've chosen to tackle big themes, i.e., big problems that are universal. Activating the prey drive in a person is universal. Explaining value, universal. Generating leads, universal. Follow up and conversion, universal. Confidence, bounce back, habits of the top 1% of performers. See, I have chosen to be a specialist at basically performance. And that performance is needed across multiple industries, multiple businesses, multiple opportunities. So when I speak, today I was doing franchise owners of a fitness company. I work with mortgage originators this morning. I just did entrepreneurs in our What's Next program, business owners. So to me, there are universal problems. You see these after 31 years of coaching people. I develop tools like a tool maker to solve those problems. And so people in Charlotte that want to come to this event, doesn't matter what they do for a living, they will walk out of there with a prey drive activated. thinking bigger, with a vision, with an A to B goal. Okay. Like they'll walk out of there. Like A to B is a good example. You know, when I wrote the book A to B, everybody's trying to do something. They may not know what it is. They may not have clarity on it. They may need a new team of people to help them get there. But everybody on planet Earth is trying to do something.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And that's what A to B helps them do, get clear on what they're trying to do.
Can you shared with us in some of the workshops that there's been times in your life where maybe you weren't on the crest of the wave, but maybe you were in a lull, and maybe you you were suffering from a down cycle. What did you like? What helped you get from that down cycle to say, hey, I'm not going to stay in this down cycle. I don't do sewer cycles. We're going to move to the next level.
You know, I think it has a lot to do with who I study and their thoughts about opportunity and being in rooms. And to be honest with you, many times I don't have a choice to be in a down cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm booked 6 months in advance to speak around the country, to coach people, and I don't really have the luxury of going, you know what, I just don't feel like doing it today. So over a long cycle of time, I've developed what in the sports world we call muscle memory. And I know how to activate my prey drive to peak up like a pro does. So when I catch myself in that down cycle, it's usually an indicator that I need to get back to my goals, back to my B, back to my dreams, back to my big aspirations. I need to get excited about something. I may need to change locations. I may need to have a dinner with a person. I may need to get in a room with a mastermind. I may need to be reinvigorated. You know, that's kind of why I created that program, Retreat to Attack, because so we can get away and retreat, get reinvigorated, and boom, go get it.
With couples, I know, Pam and I went to your couples retreat back in March, and it was definitely something she was not ready for. Not that it wasn't like anything in the past where she walks away feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I'm the one falling down in this relationship. She wasn't ready for the empowerment of, wow, we're a power couple. This is how we work together to get to the next goal. How does your coaching with the A to B and the Prey Drive help couples? Even if, I mean, maybe we have a couple that's coming and maybe they're successful, but man, they just want to take their marriage. How can they take the same concept and just level up their marriage?
We spend more time on our businesses than we do on our marriage. Um, we developed the couples retreat because the first 3 years of our marriage with me and my wife, Natalie, was rocky. It was rough. I was working all the time. She was at home with our daughter. She couldn't understand the ambition I had, where it came from, why it was so persistent, why I wanted to be somebody in the world. Why can't you just be normal? Why can't you stay home? Why can't you be home at 5 o'clock? And, you know, we said, hey, we need to work on these structures. And just through time and commitment, we started to find a rhythm. Then we started to figure out her talents, my talents. Then we combined the talents in the business, right? And then now where we're at today, this doesn't mean we're without argument or without disagreement from time to time, but now we have a vision for the marriage. Where are we going? What are we trying to do? What are your talents? What are my talents? What brings you joy? What brings me joy? How do we keep it all together? We're both empowered to really go do. She's got her brand, I got my brand, then we have a brand together. And that's a lot of fun, you know, and you know, just thinking about, we're about to go to Mexico this week to do an event in Mexico together. And then we've got a couples retreat in November coming. So, you know, there's always something in the future we're pushing toward to try to manifest our dreams.
Now, that being said, most couples, when they start out with this spark because they're newlyweds, and then 2 years, 3, 4 years later, they're on this parallel track that they're roommates with each other, and they no longer have couple goals.
Yeah.
Is couple goals something that drives a healthy relationship, having something they're working towards together as well as independent?
I think so. I think us doing these couples retreats makes us a very better married couple. Thinking about it. Because if we're doing a couples retreat and we're not in alignment on what we're talking about, we've fallen off the horse on our goals, then we're up there teaching people how to do it, you know? And so I think it's really powerful that you have goals together. and each one of you, and you do the A to B exercise for the marriage.
You use a phrase a lot. If you wouldn't mind, take a minute to explain intentional congruency.
Yeah.
That phrase right there was one that just blew us away when we were at the couples retreat.
Intentional congruence is where everything feeds everything. So there is a congruence between your goals, your talents, your dreams, your hopes, your marriage, and it kind of feeds everything, right? There's not this randomness in motion of we do this and we do this and we do this. We really want to tie these things together. And in an ideal world, you design your life the way you want it, and the business supports that life. Okay, we like being in Florida 90 days of the year. Could we do retreats in Florida? We like helping kids. Could we have a division called Success School? We like owning corporate retreat sites. Could we buy more corporate retreat sites that cash flow and do our boot camps there? Could I only coach 3 days a week? Could me and my wife spend 3 days a month with just she and I together? See, this is kind of like building a life and then going, okay, what is the role of the business? It's actually to support the life, not to run the life. And for a long time, I didn't get that right. As I get older, I'm like more intentional about that. It's like, oh, this is why A to B is so important. Because in an ideal world, I'm coaching 3 days a week. We're living in Florida 90 days of the year. The business is self-multiplying and self-managing. See where I'm going? Everything is moving toward that. My wife's happy. I'm happy. We're experiencing joy in the journey. We get to see spend plenty of time with our kids. Like that is in an ideal life. That's why I'm getting clear on your B is very important.
We'll wrap up with this one, Coach. Anybody that's thinking about or has thought about coaching, maybe it's procrastinated coaching, what would you say to inspire somebody to say, look, this is local to you. It's time to come. You got to show up and level up.
Everything is better in person. This is a day about you, your life, your family, your future. And I'm telling you, you'll walk out of there and go, man, I'm glad I came to this. This is a good thing. Okay. And commit. Courage doesn't come first. Commitment comes first. Then courage comes. Then you learn a new capability. Then, because of the new capability, you got a new confidence. And that is where you're going to be when we are finished with you on that day in October in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're going to be glad you came. You're going to go, you know what? This was a good day. This was a good day for me to cast a vision on my A to B, get clear who I need, get on the same page, and walk out of there not only motivated, but with technique and strategy on how to get from A to B.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on today, Coach. I look forward to seeing you here October 7th.
Boom. Thank you, brother. Love you.
Love you too, Coach.
All right.